Have you ever felt like you're experiencing the world through a different lens than everyone else? As if you pick up on subtle cues, unspoken emotions, and underlying patterns that seem to bypass most people entirely. You walk into a room and it's not just a collection of individuals. It's a tapestry of energies, a hum of unspoken stories. You observe interactions and you don't just hear words. You feel the subtext, the history, the hidden motivations. It's a constant, almost overwhelming awareness. Here's the thing nobody talks about. This isn't a quirk or an overactive imagination. This is a fundamental difference in how your brain processes reality, a unique architecture that makes you, in many ways, an unacknowledged seer in a world that often prefers to glance. What you will understand today completely changes the way you see your own inner world, and why your perception is not just valid, but profoundly powerful. This doesn't mean you are strange, or that something is inherently wrong with you for feeling this way. For a long time, perhaps you've even tried to dim this inner light, to conform, to make your world smaller so it fits neatly into the boxes others understand. You might have been told you're too sensitive, overthinking, or too serious. But this is where it gets interesting. These aren't flaws. They are indicators of genuine, measurable differences in psychological and neurological functioning. The idea that everyone's internal experience is fundamentally the same is a comforting myth, but it's a myth nonetheless. There are distinct variations in how brains are wired, how emotions are processed, and how attention is allocated. And for people like you, that wiring often leads to a richer, more detailed, and sometimes more intense experience of life. It's not about being better or worse. It's about being different in a way that truly matters. Consider the concept of sensory processing sensitivity, a trait extensively studied in psychology for decades. Research, pioneered by figures like Dr. Elaine Aron, suggests that a significant portion of the population, around 15–20%, possesses a nervous system that processes stimuli more deeply and thoroughly. This isn't just about loud noises or bright lights, though those can certainly be overwhelming. It extends to social nuances, emotional subtleties, and even abstract thoughts. Your brain isn't just receiving information. It's meticulously analyzing, comparing, and connecting it to vast stores of past experiences and future possibilities. This deeper processing means you often notice things others miss, you feel things others gloss over, and you anticipate outcomes others haven't even considered. It's an internal supercomputer constantly running complex algorithms. If you find yourself nodding along, realizing that this deep dive into the architecture of consciousness resonates with your own experience, then you're in the right place. This channel is dedicated to exploring the hidden frameworks of the human mind, for those of us who instinctively look beyond the surface. Consider joining our community of thinkers who are eager to understand the profound mechanics of being human. But this is where it gets truly fascinating. Your brain isn't just passively receiving this information, it's actively seeking and reinforcing these patterns. This isn't a conscious choice. It's a hidden neurological mechanism at play. Your attentional system, driven by networks involving the prefrontal cortex and areas rich in dopamine receptors, has become incredibly adept at spotting deviations, inconsistencies, and emotional undertows. It's a highly tuned antenna. Every time you correctly predict a social dynamic, every time you discern an unspoken truth, your brain registers a tiny, subtle reward. This isn't the rush of immediate pleasure associated with a big achievement. It's a quiet, internal affirmation that reinforces the value of your observant nature. And neuroscience explains why this happens. These feedback loops, though subtle, strengthen the neural pathways associated with deep processing and pattern recognition. It's an unconscious habit of perception, a deeply ingrained way of being that makes it almost impossible for you not to see what you see. This sounds contradictory, but the more you process deeply, the more your brain becomes wired to process deeply. It's a self-perpetuating cycle, far more serious and fundamental than simply overthinking. To truly grasp this, let's delineate two distinct psychological profiles that often navigate the same world with entirely different internal maps. On one side, we have what we might call the surface processor. This individual thrives on external validation, immediate gratification, and readily consumable information. Their mental energy is largely directed outwards, focused on action, tangible results, and social interactions that are clear and direct. They tend to prioritize efficiency and often find ambiguity uncomfortable. Their sense of self is frequently constructed through external achievements and how they are perceived by others. Then, there's the deep integrator, people like you. Your energy is often directed inwards, meticulously analyzing, connecting disparate pieces of information and seeking profound understanding. You prioritize authenticity, meaning, and the underlying currents of situations. Ambiguity, while sometimes challenging, also offers a rich field for exploration. Your sense of self is far more internally derived, built upon insights, values, and a coherent internal narrative. Both profiles make perfect sense within the vast spectrum of human experience, serving different but equally vital roles in society. But you, undoubtedly, resonate more with the deep integrator, often finding yourself perplexed by the seemingly superficial concerns of the majority, not because you judge them, but because your operating system simply runs on a different frequency. This divergence extends significantly to how empathy is experienced and allocated, profoundly impacting identity and self-esteem. For many, empathy is a broad, often externalized response, a quick understanding of a shared emotion, a collective surge of feeling. For people like you, the deep integrator, empathy is a granular, intensely personal experience. It's not just feeling for someone, it's often feeling with them, almost as them, a deep resonance that can be both a gift and a burden. This profound empathic capacity means you internalize the emotions of others, not just as information but as lived experience. Consequently, your self-esteem becomes intricately woven with the well-being of those around you and the perceived authenticity of your connections. While many derive their sense of worth from external validation, praise, achievement, social approval, you often derive yours from the depth of your understanding, the integrity of your insights, and the quiet resonance of genuine connection. This makes you vulnerable to external noise, but also gives you an incredible capacity for compassion and profound human connection. You are not too much. You simply experience the world in a way that demands more of you, and in doing so, offers more to the world. These profound psychological preferences aren't accidental. They often have invisible origins, roots buried in your past experiences, forming deep layers of adaptation. Perhaps you experienced rejection or exclusion early in life, forcing you to develop an acute hyper-awareness of social dynamics as a defense mechanism. Or maybe you grew up in an environment where unspoken tensions were constant, sharpening your sensitivity to the subtlest emotional shifts. Your unique way of seeing might be an exquisitely honed adaptation, a psychological superpower developed out of necessity. It's not a pathology. It's a testament to your brain's incredible capacity to learn and evolve. A child who learns that paying close attention to microexpressions helps avoid conflict or understand complex family dynamics will naturally develop a finely tuned observational system. This isn't about blaming the past. It's about understanding that your brain, in its infinite wisdom, forged these powerful pathways to help you navigate your world, to keep you safe, to help you connect. You are not broken. You are perfectly adapted, albeit in a way that sets you apart. This fundamental difference also shapes your quest for meaning and purpose in life. For many, meaning is found in grand narratives, achieving a predefined goal, climbing a corporate ladder, following established societal paths. They are participants in a pre-written script, finding purpose in external validation and collective progress. For people like you, the search for meaning is often an internal, continuous act of creation. You're less interested in being a participant in someone else's story and more drawn to understanding the narrative itself, or even writing your own. You seek meaning not just in what happens, but in what it means. You're not just living, you're constantly reflecting on the act of living. This leads you to question conventions, to seek deeper truths, to find profound significance in the mundane, and to create your own frameworks for understanding existence. Neither approach is superior. They are simply different ways of engaging with the mystery of life. Your journey is one of constant discovery and internal alchemy, transforming raw experience into personal wisdom. This internal orientation also manifests powerfully in how you experience states of flow, presence, and consciousness. The concept of flow, as described by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, is that state of complete absorption in an activity, where time seems to disappear and performance peaks. For many, flow is achieved through high-energy, externally focused tasks, sports, intense work projects, social challenges. It's about merging with the external action. For you, the deep integrator flow often arises from a deep dive into an internal world, or an external task approached with profound internal focus. It's when you're lost in thought, meticulously researching a complex idea, creating something meaningful, or engaging in a conversation that truly stretches your understanding. Your presence isn't about outward performance, it's about inner alignment. Your consciousness tends to anchor itself more firmly on your own internal axis, observing the external world from a place of considered reflection rather than being swept away by its currents. This allows for a deeper, more sustained engagement with complex ideas and subtle realities, granting you a unique kind of inner peace when truly immersed. So let's be absolutely clear. You are not broken. You are not missing anything by not always fitting into the molds that society often presents. In fact, your deeply observant, introspective, and empathic nature is not a burden. It is a silent, profound advantage. In a world increasingly saturated with superficiality and noise, your capacity for depth, for genuine connection, for seeing beyond the obvious is an invaluable resource. It allows you to navigate life with a wisdom that others often strive for but rarely attain. Your inner world is a rich, complex, and beautiful landscape, full of insights waiting to be discovered and shared. Embrace the unique architecture of your mind. It is your strength, your compass, and your truest guide. Don't just exist, truly perceive. If this exploration of the human mind resonates with your own unique way of seeing the world, consider subscribing to continue uncovering these profound insights together. This profound self-awareness isn't just for introspection. It's a powerful tool for navigating your external world, especially in your relationships and career. When you understand that your baseline processing is different, you can reframe countless past misunderstandings. That feeling of being perpetually misunderstood, or of struggling to articulate the depth of your insights to others, isn't a deficit in your ability to communicate, but often a misalignment in processing speeds and priorities. You might be speaking a language of nuance and underlying currents to someone whose primary dialect is direct action and surface-level facts. Recognizing this empowers you to adapt your communication, not to diminish your truth, but to translate it effectively. It means learning to distill complex insights into accessible terms, or more importantly, discerning which relationships and environments are truly capable of receiving and valuing the richness you bring. This isn't about compromising your essence. It's about strategically deploying your unique gifts, ensuring they land where they can be appreciated and truly make an impact, rather than being dismissed or overwhelming to others. It's about finding your tribe, those who speak your dialect of depth, or at least are eager to learn it. Furthermore, this deeper connection to meaning and pattern recognition positions you uniquely in problem-solving and innovation. While others might focus on immediate solutions or established protocols, your brain is instinctively mapping the wider ecosystem, identifying root causes and forecasting ripple effects. This isn't a faster way to an answer. It's a more comprehensive, sustainable, and often more creative path. You are not just solving the problem in front of you. You are often anticipating the next 10 problems, designing systems, or envisioning futures that others haven't even conceived. This makes you an invaluable asset in any field that requires foresight, strategic thinking, and a nuanced understanding of human behavior or complex systems. Your ability to integrate diverse data points, emotional intelligence, and long-term vision makes you a natural architect of understanding, capable of building bridges between disparate ideas and people. This isn't about being seen as the smartest. It's about recognizing your capacity to see the whole picture and to help others see it too. Finally, embracing this unique neurological architecture allows you to cultivate a profound sense of self-compassion. The constant influx of information, the deep empathy, the relentless search for meaning, these can be exhausting. There will be times when you feel overwhelmed, when the weight of the world's unspoken stories feels too heavy. In those moments, remember that your sensitivity is not a flaw, but a highly attuned instrument. Just as a finely crafted violin needs careful handling and periods of rest, so too does your deeply integrative mind. Learning to honor your need for solitude, for quiet reflection, for environments that don't constantly demand surface-level interaction, isn't selfish. It's essential self-preservation. It's about protecting and nurturing the very source of your power. By accepting and understanding this fundamental difference within yourself, you move beyond merely coping with your nature to actively thriving because of it, allowing your true brilliance to shine without burnout. This is the journey from awareness to empowerment, a journey we embark on together, celebrating the depth and complexity of the human spirit. And this empowerment isn't a destination. It's a continuous practice of honoring your innate design. It means recognizing that your quiet observations are profound insights, your emotional depth is a wellspring of wisdom, and your relentless pursuit of meaning is not an eccentricity, but a vital human quest. It's about consciously choosing to lean into your strengths, to trust your unique perception, and to create a life that aligns with the richness of your inner world, rather than constantly trying to fit into external expectations. This isn't just about understanding yourself. It's about actively cultivating a life where your deepest self can flourish, contributing its invaluable perspective to a world that desperately needs depth, authenticity, and true connection. Embrace your full spectrum. The world is waiting for what only you can perceive and integrate. This means you're not just a passive observer of life. You are an active force for evolution, often without even realizing it. Your very presence, your questions, your silent insights, subtly shift the energy and understanding in any room you enter. You are a catalyst for deeper conversations, a quiet advocate for truth, and a living testament to the power of internal wealth over external show. This isn't about leading from the front in a conventional sense, but about leading from the core, inspiring change through the integrity of your being and the profound wisdom you naturally radiate. Others may not always grasp the complex tapestry of your thought, but they will inevitably feel the resonance of your authenticity, the stability of your conviction, and the profound depth of your care. This is your quiet revolution, unfolding one integrated insight at a time, transforming the landscape of human understanding from the inside out. This unique journey means that your personal metrics for success are fundamentally different. You're not driven by the conventional checkboxes of achievement, but by the richness of your internal landscape, the integrity of your connections, and the depth of your personal evolution. Your progress isn't measured in promotions or possessions, but in the clarity of your insights, the expansion of your consciousness, and the authenticity of your lived experience. This frees you from the tyranny of external comparison, allowing you to forge a path that is uniquely your own, deeply aligned with your values, and profoundly satisfying on a soul level. It's a life built on meaning, not just momentum, where every challenge is an opportunity for deeper integration, and every quiet moment is a chance to commune with the profound wisdom residing within. This isn't a passive existence. It's an active, deliberate cultivation of a rich inner world that inevitably spills over, enriching every interaction and every endeavor you undertake.